Today is May 9th, 2017. I'm at McDonald's with basically finishing up what was supposed to be a visit with my daughters. The CPS worker abused her power and ended my visit. My visit ended, and my daughters being completely distraught and not being allowed to hug me, not being allowed to have their mother comfort them. I saw hopefully it's a good thing, somebody who was an angel and started recording it. And so my children are now in the foster mom's care, probably distraught as we speak, and I don't really know what to make of the situation. The caseworker lies and falsifies documents and uses my children as leverage. And when I speak up about it, she says the visit's over. I was here at about 5 o'clock, and the visit didn't start until about 6:10, maybe 6:20. No, probably about 6:10. And ended at about 6:30 because I took my daughters to the restroom, and I was followed in there, which is fine. I had no problem with that, but I asked why, and she said the visits are supposed to be supervised, and I asked why, and she wouldn't give me a reason. She was on a personal call while at work, which is actually very unprofessional. On top of that, talking about things she probably shouldn't be talking about. There's lots of kids, lots of children that were within the play area. My daughters, the only one that was crying was the one who usually does cry when she's emotional, and then they all started crying when the caseworker got very aggressive in saying the visit's over because she didn't like what she was hearing, and she said, well, I'll just end the visit then, basically as a means of trying to take power and trying to control the situation herself. And of course, when she did that, my daughter started crying because they wanted to visit with their mother and finish the food that I made for them, which is actually sitting at the table right here, disrupted because I asserted my rights as a parent, and because CPS, one of the worst organizations in this world, has decided that I am a bad mom because I don't comply when they don't comply with their own regulations. The particular parent who's my caseworker doesn't even parent their own children, and I'm not trying to bring that in on the fact of anything other than the fact, or not trying to scrutinize her other than the fact that she's trying to tell me how to raise my children and saying that it's wrong for my children to cry when it's actually a very healthy thing for them to cry, but not when it's caused by an over abuse of power. As a mother, I am distraught because I know what my children are going through, having been from a broken home myself, and I know what CPS is doing in regards to traumatizing my children and making them recall these memories and putting black spots in their memories because of this stuff. I apologize to everybody in the building because that's all I can do. There were multiple families who say that it's going to be okay and just to not stress, but it is very hard to stress when there is an organization such as CPS who are telling my children that it's wrong to cry, and who are telling my children that they have to be in fear of me because of their own insecurities as parents, which is probably why the whole thing started as an organization anyways. Doesn't matter. I am bawling my eyes out at a McDonald's a table, a family table, because I have 4 plates and 3 empty seats and a deeply broken heart because a mother who engages in self-defense should never have to go through this. More importantly, children who are kept safe should never have to be going through this system. And I don't really like what I'm seeing in regards to all the abuse of power. Basically, I've been fighting this battle for about a year. Over a year, probably. And to see such disrespect because they see my children as leverage for their game is quite disheartening. It also makes me question whether anybody out there does any adulting, whether they know what they're doing. Mother's Day is on Sunday, and I will be without my children because of a department's desire to traumatize my children for their whole life. I use everything that they gain, all the information that they gain, against them when they become parents and hit their 30s, because that's what it is a midlife crisis. As a mother...
Are you okay, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. As a mother, I don't want anybody to go through what I'm going through. That's why I speak up. That's why I have a voice, and that's why I utilize my voice. I can't change what's been done, but I'm trying to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Hopefully everybody has a great Mother's Day. Not because I'm jealous, not because I want you to feel pity for me, but because I truly want everybody to understand what a mother truly goes through, just to keep her kids safe, and to try to prove that she's a great mom in a world that abuses its power, in a company that emotionally tortures children and then lies about it, falsifies documents, abuses power, and tells us that they're going to end visits because they don't like what's being said. I'm a parent. I have a right to say how I feel. I have a right to do as I feel, as long as it doesn't harm the children. It never did. It was the abuse of power that a CPS worker did that put my children and myself in a state of emotional trauma. That being said, I'm begging somebody with emotional stability within the actual system called CPS to please audit your caseworkers. Please make sure that children don't go through this, but not because the parents are doing it or causing it, because the CPS workers are abusing their power. My job is not to have you feel sorry or feel pity for me or my situation. My job is to bring light to the situations that are happening and hopefully change the potential of it happening continuously without light brought to it. Please do your job with diligence, because there are families that are being misfortuned because of things like this. Happy Mother's Day.